It's true that it is the government through the exchequer that pays the university dons or pays the university staff for that matter.
Yes.
Yes.
It comes through the exchequer.
Exactly.
So how does it trickle down? Because they at one point, I think the universities somehow are being said to be paying the dons. I don't know, when we had the parallel system of education in this country, university, the universities were making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And somehow it was said that the dons were also benefiting from this.
Yeah.
So how does it cascade? Who do you negotiate with?
Well, thank you, Fred. It's true that during the Module 2,
Yes.
the parallel program, some universities were liquid for that matter.
Yes.
But it was not across all the universities. Some universities had comparative advantage when it came to hosting parallel programs.
Yes.
For example, the universities that are within the big cities are the ones that were, and therefore that program was not sustainable because you are fishing on the same place severally, and therefore you find it will dwindle with the time.
Yes.
Now, coming to the issue of who actually, where we get money from. It's true that I began by saying that we get our money from the exchequer.
Yes.
Through what is called regular capitation that comes to the universities through monthly capitation.
Yes.
So it is the role of the government.
For people who don't understand, so there's an amount of money that is set aside for every university straight from the treasury,
No,
from the government.
Yes, I would say so,
Yeah.
but ideally it's normal budgetary process that all other ministries go through. So the higher education is not an exception.
Yes.
So there is a budget that is normally appropriated across all the universities.
Yes.
So it is the role of the cabinet secretary and through the PS for higher education to have the budget for all public universities across every financial year. So it is then appropriated on a monthly basis.
Yes.
It is on a monthly basis that this money is appropriated across the universities in the form of capitation. Yes.
So now where is the problem? Because if you had a CBA.
Yes.
So what happened? At what point did it cease to? Did this money cease to get to you?
Okay, the university staff go through what we call collective bargaining agreement for them to have enhanced packs. And through the collective bargaining agreement, it is a 4-year cycle.
Yes.
We are supposed to, right now, we are in 2024. This cycle is coming to an end this year. It is called 2021-2025 cycle. Now, we are supposed to embark into another cycle that starts 2025 to 2029.
Yes.
Now, within this cycle...
So what you're striking for is for the 2025...
2021-2025.
2021-2025?
Yes. What happened is that the first 2 years we had COVID, and we understood that it was unanimously agreed that as a country we do not have CBAs for 2 years. So CBAs were frozen for the 2021-2022. But in the financial year 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025, we were entitled to have our enhancement of our packs through collective bargaining agreement. And therefore, we put our proposal, because the unions have to put a proposal that has to be looked by the employer, and the employer gives a counter offer for that matter. We did our proposal way back in September, 20th September 2020. 2020. We gave, because like
2020, and now we're in 2024.
Yes, because we are supposed to have the collective bargaining agreement proposals ready by now for the year cycle of 2025-2029. So we put our proposal way back in 20th September 2021. 2020, sorry.
Yeah.
And the high PPCUF sat on that proposal all the way to last year. And it's in last year when they called us to table, and the first thing they did was to give us a nil offer.
They did not put anything on the table.
Actually, it is this year that we realized that they are offering a nil offer. And then we asked them over all these years, because all the other public servants who undergo through the collective bargaining agreement have already had their packs enhanced, their salaries enhanced. It is only universities whereby we are now towards the tail end of the cycle that the government is coming on board to say, wait a minute, what's wrong with the public universities? Now, that gives us the issue of mismanagement. I would say mismanagement. Mismanagement doesn't have to be finances only. If you mismanage a process, a due process, then you are also involved in mismanagement, which can be called corruption in that. So we are seeing inaction in a part of IPPCUF.
For those who don't understand the IPPCUF,
it refers to inter-consultative forum for it's the forum where it's a council's consultative forum. Which actually is the employer. Because
it's the employer of the dons.
It's the employer of the dons in public universities, actually for the staff in public universities. So this,
so who constitutes this? Because if they are the employer of the dons, so who constitutes this? So that we understand when we see you in the streets, we know it is these particular individuals who have mismanaged this process, and that's the reason why my daughter and other people's children, young men and women, are now not learning because you've not been given your packs.
Actually, to get your bag, it is called Inter-Public Universities Consultative Forum, IPPCF. Universities are normally governed by councils. And that's why we are having the word council there. Now, the councils are appointees. They are appointed for a certain period of time by the ministry. Previously, they used to be appointed by the president. Now, the councils, since they don't sit on day-to-day operation of the universities, donate this power to vice chancellors. So the vice chancellors among themselves choose who becomes the chair of the vice chancellors, and also get somebody among themselves who becomes the chair who can negotiate with the union about the enhanced packs in the public universities.
So the way you've explained it, so now we can zero down and say probably the people who've mismanaged this process to get us to where we are the vice chancellors.
Yes, I would say so, because they have sat on the proposal that we had given long enough.
In 2020 September.
20th September 2020.
Wow.
And it's only this year that they have become serious, as if they want to do something about it. We went to several meetings with them, and they were taking us around the universities. So we would be in this particular university, sit with them, talk about the issues, narrate the issues that we wanted enhanced, and then they will say, we will have another meeting. We are consulting with the ministry, we are consulting with the SRC, and then they will put the meeting. We went for 5 meetings. It's when we realized there is nothing that is forthcoming. At the end of the day, SRC said, and actually, we have a copy of one of the letters that the IPPCF wrote. The chairman of the Vice Chancellor's Council wrote to SRC, and in that letter, indicated that the universities should not be given enhanced salaries because we have had a problem of handling the previous CBA. And therefore, and they used the word sustainability to pay. And I would like to ask...
These are vice chancellors who are telling SRC, don't pay our employees an enhanced PAC because of sustainability.
Yes.
But the money comes from the exchequer, not from them.
That is where there is a problem. Because the money comes from the exchequer, they are supposed to budget for enhanced pay and for these CBS.
Yes.
Now, where will you find the chair of the vice chancellors writing to SRC
that is so weird,
requesting that they should not agree to the proposal through the counter offer to enhance the PACs because they have not been able to sustain the previous CBAs. And actually, as we talk, Fred, we are owed by the government through the IPPCF 5.8 billion that has not been paid for 2017-2021 CBA.
5.8
billion.
And this money's left the exchequer.
Well, the way we normally negotiate our CBA, when it comes to the issue of money, it's difficult for us to know. We only sign. Once we sign, they start going around saying what we sign cannot be sustained. It cannot be implemented. So we argue round. The cycle ends, but still the bill stands. So as we talk, that is
5.8 billion.
Yes, and the case is still in the High Court for that, for determination in Labour Court.
And now they are about again to default on this cycle.
Yes, and actually through that, SRC did a very interesting research. I have never heard about it anywhere in the world, called the universities are at 49th percentile. 49th percentile when it comes to the enhancement of their PACs.
What does that mean in plain English?
In plain English, what they are saying is that we have gone beyond where our level of our PACs can be pegged. Where our level of PACs can be pegged, and therefore we don't deserve to be enhanced. And that echoes the letter that the chair of the vice chancellors wrote to them, verbatimely quoted because of the issue of sustainability. You know, this country, the SRC has been trying to manage the public debt. And I think universities are the places where we are exercising that tool. Because how come how other public servants have gotten their PACs enhanced? And actually, out of mercy, the president of this country said, well, we have issues of inflation. We have problems with the 2 years that were frozen because of COVID. And we have issues of taxation. We want to cushion public servants, and he gave 7 to 10% pay increase across. Now, when it came to us, and we threatened to go on strike, and we went for the first strike, they quickly locked in the ministry, and the ministry, actually it became a mediation issue through the Ministry of Labour.
I remember.
So we went to the Ministry of Labour, and the CS for Labour asked, what is it that you can do? Because it is becoming futile to have lecturers, to have professors on the streets all the time. So they asked, what can it be done to tame these incessant strikes that are taking place all over? And we said, if the government really has problems with the money, and we know because we are researchers at university, so we have this data of how the economy is doing. Then we go for low-hanging fruits, and the low-hanging fruit is give us what the president gave the other public servant.
So when the president said that, you know, this 10% to be given to your parks were not affected?
No, we were not, because I don't know who sat on that directive. It's a presidential award.
Yes.
And this is actually, we say, fine. We understand our president.
Yes.
We understand our Kenya. We understand our economy. We understand the stakeholders involved here. We have students that are not learning. We have parents who are paid that are not getting value for their money. We have lecturers who are actually who have been put on CRB because they cannot pay their loans. They cannot pay basic things. Lecturers are the cream of the society. If you want to destroy a nation, touch the higher echelon of education, and you bring down the country. And that is exactly what we are trying to do in this country. You are touching where it matters, where there is research, where there is thinking on how even to do better in terms of economy, and that is where we are having disarray.
So when you told the CS Labor, then give us what the president promised for public. What did he say?
Very good. It was very fast. In fact, it went so fast that we did a return to work formula in a record few hours. In a record hours. And Fred, honestly speaking, I don't understand what helps our country, but we are having a very interesting country. I don't want to allude what the viewers are seeing or what are hearing me say. So we did that and we said, fine. There was also a conditions issue whereby
So it was an issue of tutatenga, but
no. A return to work formula is a rigid document.
Yes.
And actually, when you have it, you can file it in the court.
Yes.
And as WASU, we have exactly done that.
Yes.
We have taken that document to the court that we have agreed. So there was that agreement, and within the agreement, those who are conventionally salaries are paid, those who are earning higher get lower percentage, those who are earning lower, they get a higher percentage. So it was 7 to 10, 7 for those who are in grade 13
the higher
to 15.
Yes.
And those who are in grade 1 to 13, that they got
10%.
10%.
Yes.
Again, there was the issue of automatic annual increment, which we have not been getting. So we were given 4% automatic annual increment across all the cadre.
This was to cover for the years that you had not got.
For 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025, for 2 years.
Yes.
And we said, fine, we understand the circumstances that we are living in. For other issues like medical cover, book allowance, professorial allowance, medical scheme, we said, they wrote there that within the month of October, we shall be able to deal with the other issues. It was written in that return to work formula. It has all those clauses. So now, the way forward after that was that on 26th of September, convene a forum whereby WASU and IPPCF go to Machakos, stimulate these your tables, payment tables, schedules, and then bring for payment. The salary should hit the accounts of these workers in the month of October. It was written properly. Well, that in the month of October, we were supposed to have this money into our account.
And did the meeting between you and the dogs?
Yes. So we went to Machakos for 3 days for the purposes of simulating, and we did simulation, and it was coming to 9.7. If you include 7%, 10%, and 4% of annual automatic increment, it was coming to 9.7 billion. But before we went, there was some kind of haggling with which we did not understand. It's like the PS for higher education had a certain figure and our sleeves. And this is where we say that things should be open.
Yes.
So she kept on saying, yeah, I'm looking for money. You know, the SRC had given you 1.6. So
1.6 billion.
Yes. But it only covered grade 14 and 15. And these are the guys who are less than 1,000 in our public universities. So, and they were awarding them 7%. The others were awarded 0.
The 1 to 13?
Yes, 0.
The higher echelons are the ones who are
given,
and the lower were left without anything.
And that's why we say there is collusion, because IPPCF, that is where they belong.
Yes.
So they wanted the group that is a small group to benefit this 1.6, and the other group, which actually carries the universities in terms of research and teaching, they were getting a 0. So when we went to Machakos, we simulated this, and it was coming to 9.7 billion. Then there was a word that was feeling in our meetings that the government has only 4.3 billion. We said, fine. You know, you cannot fit a formula into a figure.
Yes.
So since there is a formula on how you calculate salaries, you cannot say this formula, when I have basic pay, this amount, you key in 4% automatic annual increment, you key in 10%, should be equal to 4.3. No. That is something that we found very strange.
Yes.
And actually, when we reached there, we said, fine, we did our tables, took them to the ministry for them to do the necessary. They sat on them.
Again?
Yes, they sat on them. We realized the month was coming to an end, and since they had already formed interministerial, before we left for Machakos, the government had formed interministerial committee composed of Attorney General, Cabinet Secretary for Education, Cabinet Secretary for Treasury, Cabinet Secretary for Labor. So all these, and SRC.
Yes.
So all these stakeholders were involved in this. And therefore they said within the month of October, other than paying this amount, the other issues in contention have to be thrashed. And Treasury has to secure enough funding to fund the other items in the CBA. As we talk, that is where we are. We haven't moved even an inch, even on that.
And it doesn't look, today is the 1st, today is the 31st of October.
Fred,
and you've not received an M-Pesa message from your bank telling you money has come in.
Let me surprise you, Fred.
Yes.
I don't know whom we are dealing with. We are having very insensitive people who are managing universities. Now, this money was supposed to be appropriate and paid within the month of October. Now, the salaries have been paid.
Oh.
The salaries have been paid minus this money.
Without factoring what?
Without factoring this. At the same time, salaries have been paid, and we are seeing a very interesting trajectory whereby the professors now are losing upwards of 15,000 through SHA and SHIF. SHA and SHIF. Actually, they are so mad that
15,000.
15,000 cumulatively. SHA and SHIF.
Yes.
Now, this was somehow to bring relief. Because if you do quick mathematics, you find that this is a zero-sum even offer. You are given 7% and 4% annual, that translates to 11.
Yes.
And if you look at what you are losing is more than what you are.
So you find yourself in an even worse situation than you were before.
Exactly. Exactly. So with even this 4.3 billion, which they are throwing to us, and it's like they are holding a gun on us to swallow that 4.3 billion, we find it very, very unfair, to say the least. Very unfair. Because they are trying to tell us, fit your formula of calculating salary scales into 4.3 billion. It cannot work.
And the amount you were supposed to get was 9.7.
The amount, when you simulate our tables, all salaries tables, within all public universities, it amounts to 9.7 billion. And that is not only for the lecturers, for the other support staff, and those who do the cleaners, those who are in the secretariats, those who are in administration. So this amounts to 9.7 billion. Now, so yesterday we went for, they called us again, that we go back to the interministerial committee negotiation, and we are very magnanimous. We went there, clean-hearted, and the CS for education and CS for labor, they were there, and we raised the issue of unfairness, and they kept on saying the government can only get 4.3 billion. Can I say at this juncture that the education sector in this country runs at a budget of around 640 billion.
640 billion.
Yes. What we are asking in addition is only 5 billion.
Yes.
Which is equivalent to 0.7% of the total budget of education.
Yeah.
So we wonder.
So
what is this?
Where does all this money go to?
Well, when we are talking of the Ministry of Education, it has the basic education, it has the tertiary education, it has the high. Yes, all that and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have primary schools, we have ECDs, we have secondary schools, we have TVETs, colleges, so all this. But it is very unfair because the teachers have already been given their 7 to 10%. And what we are saying, even this money, don't pay at once.
Yes.
Can you do it in a phased manner?
Yes.
Face it by June 2025, clear. How a whole government of the Republic of Kenya, which boasts of the greatest GDP in East and Central Africa, not be able to afford 0.7 of the higher education budget to be loaded on this? We find there is a systematic way in which either the government or those who are handling this are mismanaging the higher education, and we are getting to a deeper hole in this country.
Yes.
Unless as a country we rise and we say we need to support research and teaching in this country, we have perennial strikes.
Yeah, they've actually become.
We have done our
every other day we have strikes.
We have done our research also.
Yes.
We have realized that a country like Rwanda pays their lecturers better than Kenya.
Rwanda.
Tanzania the same. Uganda the same. Kenya is the one that pays the lowest. Yet we boast of GDP that combines all those countries. So we want, is there misallocation of resources?
Is it that we don't
see? Is it deliberate to kill higher education sector? Is it that they don't want to see professors? Or what are we having in this country? So these are the questions that have anchored our members, and they have said, because yesterday we were told there is a court order, we need to obey court order.
Yeah, because they said you're not protected. They said the strike is not protected.
Worldwide, world over, there is no strike that has ever been protected. There is no strike that is protected.
Yes.
And therefore, It is as it is.
So as it stands now, the dons will not go back until
the Machakos simulated tables are honored in total. Lecturers did not go there, and actually we were 3 unions.
Yes.
There is Wasu, Kusu, and Kudeya.
Yes.
We sat down, and they appended their signatures, or the union. The councils, the IPPCF, appended their signatures. And since they are our employers, they took the document, sat with it. And then when we started asking why are we not being called for to negotiate the other items, is when they rushed the document and they came saying that the government has 4.3 billion. And actually, this 4.3 billion is not available.
The government has it, but it's not available.
It's not. Now, by yesterday's, when they are saying the money that is available is the one that SRC had given them, 1.6 billion.
Oh, it has now gone from 4
So they are looking for money. They are looking for money, and their target, even if they look for money, they will still arrive at their formula. Now tell me, Fred, when you tell me you are looking for money to fill in the gap, that is 9.7, and you tell me I'm looking for money, but the maximum I can get is 4.3. In other words, you are not looking for money.
You're looking for 4.3.
Yes, yeah.
You're not seeking.
Yeah, you're looking for a formula to arrive at whatever you're doing, 4.3. Fred, universities in Kenya are insolvent. We are talking of collapsing pension schemes. A case in point is technical.
Collapsing?
Collapsed and collapsing. Collapsed. Technical University of Kenya declared that their pension scheme has collapsed. So a lecturer in that university teaches and at the retirement age goes home and has nothing.
Why? How did it collapse?
Mismanagement. We have serious problem of mismanagement in higher education. And government needs to put a spotlight on how the vice chancellors who are given the noble duty of running these universities, they need to be audited. Our public universities need to be audited, and whoever is found culpable should be held responsible for mismanaging the human resources and the other capital assets found in our public universities.
Because that's ridiculous. I mean, if the pension scheme has collapsed and it was being managed by the vice chancellor, right now he should be wearing the striped uniform.
As we talk now, Moi University has been on strike for 3 months.
What?
For lack of salaries. They are not...
The dons?
The dons.
3 months?
3 straight months. The issue went to Parliament, and the Parliament actually appropriated a budget of 2.9 billion to be given to that university, and for a caretaker committee to allow the university to open. Imagine a bigger university, a big university like Moi University, sending students home. Sending students home.
Because it cannot afford to pay where does all the money that the students pay go to? And the capitation that comes from the government?
You know, as a union, we only stand as per the terms of our employment. I'm first a lecturer. My place is class research. And ensure those whom I teach graduate in time. Now there is the other part that the managers need to play. And that is ensuring smooth learning ensues in these public universities. And that is to say that the vice chancellors have the honors of ensuring that there is a financial prudence in management of the resources that they have. Again, they keep on saying the government does not send capitation. How can we know? We don't deal with that.
Yes.
When they are getting capitation, they don't tell us. When they don't have the capitation is when they come out to shout. So we cannot tell.
Yes.
So as it is now, WASU has called their members out of classes. In all public universities, we are protesting unfair treatment by the government and through the high PPCUF that we find it very unfair. Even the presidential award of 7 to 10%
has not been given to you.
Has not been given. Yesterday they are saying, can we remove the 4% annual automatic increment? What that means is this. You give this, you continue to have pay disparities, and because annual increment, we realize some universities were paying 1 point something %, others 4 point. So we say harmonize this. So this 4%, put it across every member, so that we have some kind of uniformity at the basic salary base. Then from there is when now you can load the 7% or 10%. Now they are saying, oh, we have been paying this annual increment. We say yes, but some universities don't pay.
Yes.
And they are our members. Some universities are paying partly 1 point something %.
Yes.
Why can't we harmonize? This is where they are refused. Can I tell you? They are saying out of this money, basic salary and pension component. Pension component, they are paying it at 20%. Some universities pay as low as 5%, pension 10%. So why pick 20% pension if you are not becoming unfair and also not transparent, because not all universities pay 20%. So they want to say, even out of this 4.3, give us 20%, we'll pay. Yet we know they don't pay. They don't pay 20%.
You know, the more we
continue. So this is a place where we are hiding money. 20% money is getting lost through paperwork.
Yes.
You give them 20%.
For pension.
For pension.
Some pay 5, some pay 10.
Yes.
So where, you know.
Others don't pay.
Others don't pay at
all. And they are getting 20%. So we are having a quagmire in the management of our universities.
You know, the more we have this conversation, the more I think we need to start turning the spotlight on the management of universities, because I think this is where corruption is being born.
Well, I did not want to say it so, but you have said it.
I've said it because if you receive 20%, this is supposed to go for pension, and you're paying 5%, you're paying 10%, and others not paying, then where is that money going to?
That's it. That's it. And even when this money comes, we have decided as union, we'll sit with implementation. We'll form an implementation committee. We audit their payroll, and this money will be sent as per what you do in your university. The other money will be shared and ensure that we give our staff what they deserve, because that money is supposed to go to the staff.
You know, it's a sad situation when we have this kind of things happening at a time when the country says that we don't have money, we don't have this. They're also giving, the government is giving an excuse that because the finance bill was rejected, so there's no money to do this. But from this conversation, you get to understand that the level of corruption within the universities is really sickening, in the point that you have situations where people are given money to manage. They're given money to, basically ensure that the universities run well. But they don't do what they're supposed to do. And they are giving with one hand and taking with the other hand, and telling SRC, don't implement this because we were unable to implement it the last time. So it is a very unfortunate situation. Daktari, they had said from the conversation that I've been following up on this, that the fact that the finance bill was not effected is a reason for why they cannot pay you what you want.
What we are saying is this. What we are requesting is actually partly 0.7% of education budget in this country.
Yes.
That shows the level of, low level of capitation or even funding within the university sector. And at the same time, what we are saying is this. Yes, 2024 finance bill was rejected.
Yes.
The other day, the Supreme Court reinstated 2023 finance bill, which actually was running this country. So you can, because we never tested 2024 finance bill.
We never.
So, but we were running smoothly with the 2023 finance bill. So you can't come and say now, since the 2024 finance bill
was rejected,
that's an alarmist excuse, because show us which money, the money that you have lost. What you had said is a proposed, enhanced revenue collection. But it doesn't show that we have lost money because it was rejected. So all what we need to do is trim down some unnecessary expenditure in our budget and take money to where you can see the result. And the best place to place money is to have an educated population. An educated populace is far much better. Far much better in a nation. And as a country, we need to be very careful when it comes to putting money where it should be. And that, I'll say, higher education, we can't go wrong. Research. This country needs research. Needs research and development. Needs people who can undertake serious consultancies at a higher level. That capacity can only be undertaken by somebody who has gone through a higher education. Thank you.
I see something happening in Western countries whereby when the government wants to do something, it partners with universities, invests money in, specialized universities, and they say, we are trying to see whether this kind of, if it's science, we want to see what can happen. So the government invests money in universities so that research can be done concerning a particular thing before they start implementing. Is this happening in Kenya, or are we going by, you wet your finger, you put it up where the wind blows and we go that direction?
To have any sustainable form of direction, it is important that you have either short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals. If we have elaborate long-term goals of what we want this country to be in terms of development, then we actually put money, just as you are saying, in specialized universities. Like, for example, the university, Jomo Kenyatta University of Science and Technology has been a very vital in this country in ensuring that we have enhanced technology in the field of agriculture. And that will only be feasible in the long term if we continue to fund projects and innovations. Because currently we, at the global arena, even at the universities, we are talking about innovations.
True.
The drivers to any country, the engine that drives this country, that will drive even any country, is innovation. So if we put money into innovative ways in science, then we are going to accelerate our development. But if we become only a consumer economy, then we are running into danger of dependency and a long-term cycle of debts.
Because
we are not exporting technology.
Yes.
We are not exporting any innovation. But we have the know-how. We have the young people. That we have these incubation hubs that we are talking about in this country.
True.
But if you look at them, they are not funded. So if we put money into a particular kind of technology or innovation, and we say we are going to run with it, this is how South Korea did their things. South Korea was at par with Kenya at 1963, but today, South Korea is 20 times highly developed than Kenya, producing cars for us. The Nyayo Pioneer car, it was a partnership between the University of Nairobi and the government had put some money in the engineering department of University of Nairobi, and they were able to produce a car. But all of a sudden, mismanagement came in and they stopped funding. Now, this is where we have a problem. Trust universities to drive the economy because they are the researchers. They have the innovative time with the students. Young people being modeled by these professors, but ensure the professor is comfortable. If you disturb a thinking mind, it can hardly produce innovations. And that is what you are doing, seeing professors on the streets. Something that we should be ashamed of. In Asian countries, professors are honored.
I remember
highly honored.
When I was growing up, a professor or a university don, whoa, well, you looked at them with awe, and I think there was countrywide respect for that. So when I see dons in the streets, there's something that doesn't reconcile my past experience and what I'm experiencing now.
Yes, Fred. Leave alone that. If you see them in the streets, they don't look like professors.
True. I totally agree.
They have been downtrodden in terms of how they look like, because they are just trying to survive within these institutions which are highly unfunded. And I would say that if we put money, and I'm talking to stakeholders, if we put money into innovation, into science, into technology, and we have civility, calmness in a higher education, then there is nowhere we can't reach to this country. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Now I have a very clear understanding of why the dons are in the streets. And you know, they, like Dr. has said, there is no country that develops when you ignore the universities. None. Every technology, every innovation, majority of it have their seeding in the universities. So you partner with the universities, you develop something, and it's, you know, you multiply it throughout the country, and something happens. We cannot be killing the very same vehicle that is supposed to take us out of the mess we are in. And I agree with him. You see university dons today, and they don't look like university dons. Plain and simple. So we need to do something. So the individuals who are negotiating this and the government, please put your money where your mouth is. And let's see something happening so that we can get the dons back to the institutions and our children. Our children are not, our students, our kids are not in school, are not in the universities. They're now at home. Not good. So thank you very much, Dr. I really hope that this becomes successful and that you achieve what you want to achieve. Your final comments.
My final comment is this. I implore upon the government, the relevant ministries. Actually, the parliament has called us on Tuesday. I implore upon the parliamentarian, the Committee on Education, to look into this matter critically and put their foot down to ensure that there is learning in higher education. It's shameful to have lecturers on the streets.
Sure.
We are talking of transition of many students to universities. We are hardly 10,000. The students' population is about 70,000 in our public universities.
Yes.
The ratio is weird. Actually, it's 700,000, sorry.
700,000, yeah.
It's weird. Class sizes...
10,000, 700,000.
Yes. That ratio is bad. We need even the Committee on Education to visit public universities when there is learning. And they take notes what is going on. Thank you very much.
All right. You know, that's money we can basically take away from the Gachagua impeachment process. Instead of spending so much money there, let's give the norms. Let's develop our country even further, right? All right, don't forget that from 9 a.m. we'll have Your Faith Today with Reverend Felix Kavoy, so don't go away.
Thank you very much.